From time immemorial, people have believed that there is another world lying just beneath the surface of our planet. To a number of cultures, the ancient Greeks for one, it is a dark place filled with the souls of the dead. But most of these early beliefs were metaphorical or mythological in origin. Modern science holds true that the Earth is an unbroken series of layers, crusts, and liquid magma surrounding a dense, hot core made primarily of iron and nickel. But not everybody is convinced. In the 17th century, some of the leading scientific minds of the time came up with a new theory that the planet is actually hollow. This idea has actually proved incredibly durable. Even today, there is a small cadre of hollow Earth believers who are fighting valiantly to validate their ideas through books, websites, meetings, and some extremely ambitious travel plans. A quote from Rodney Clough, author of World Top Secret, Our Earth is Hollow. My conception of the hollow Earth, based on my research, is that the shell of the Earth is about 800 miles thick, from the outside to the inner surface. He went even further in our phone conversation. Half of the planet is taken up by surface weight, and then there is empty space, and then there's something else. Suspended in the direct center of that hollow is an interior sun that is divided by day and night cycles. The outer part of the hollow Earth theory is that near the North and South poles are substantial openings that lead to a large interior of the Earth. Now, hollow Earth theory sounds like science fiction and is often presented as such, but some of history's greatest scientists have subscribed to it, and at one point it seemed downright logical. The scientific basis for hollow Earth possibly came from Edmund Halley of Halley's Comet, proposed in 1692 as a way of explaining anomalous compass readings. Halley's theory is that the planet is a series of nested spherical shells spinning in different directions, all surrounding a central core. In his estimation, based on readings of the magnetic fields and what he knew of the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon on the Earth, this model could account for any inaccuracies in his readings of the magnetic fields of the planet. He also posited that the space between each shell may have had luminous atmospheres capable of supporting life. This strange idea was expanded upon over the next few centuries. Fast forwarding to the 21st century, Medal of Honor recipient Admiral Richard E. Byrd allegedly wrote his encounter with a lost civilization in Antarctica. According to hollow Earth theorists, Byrd met ancient races underground at the South Pole. And according to Byrd's diary, the government ordered Admiral Byrd to remain silent for what he witnessed during his Arctic assignment. After many polar accomplishments, Admiral Byrd organized Operation High Jump in 1947. The objective: construct an American training and research facility in the South Pole. There was also interest by the United States government for the purpose of determining the feasibility of mining uranium in the Arctic Circle. If we are to believe what follows, on February the 19th, just after completing 3 hours into his flight, Admiral Byrd had an experience which totally changed his outlook on life and his personal view of the American government. Here then are what some people claim to be actual excerpts from Byrd's secret diary for the months of February to March of that year, and then some final remarks recorded 9 years later in 1956, just prior to his death. There comes a time when the rationality of men must fade into insignificance, and one must accept the inevitability of the truth. I am not at liberty to disclose the following documentation at this writing. Perhaps it shall never see the light of public scrutiny, but I must do duty and record here for all to read one day. In a world of greed and exploitation of mankind, can no longer suppress that which is the truth. In his diary transcript, Medal of Honor recipient Admiral Byrd allegedly wrote his encounter with a lost civilization in Antarctica. According to hollow Earth theorists, Byrd met ancient races underground in the South Pole. According to Byrd's diary, after he got back, the government ordered him to remain silent for what he witnessed during his Arctic assignments. Quote, March 11th, 1947, I have just attended a staff meeting at the Pentagon. I have stated fully my discovery and the message from the Master. All is duly recorded. The President has been advised. I am now detained for several hours, 6 hours, 39 minutes to be exact. I am interviewed intently by top security forces and a medical team. It was quite an ordeal. I am placed under strict control via the national security provisions of this United States of America. I am ordered to remain silent in regard to all that I have learned on the behalf of humanity. Incredible. I am reminded that I am a military man and I must obey orders. And yet, after his many polar accomplishments, Admiral Byrd was still convinced that he had something absolutely incredible happen to him while he was on his Antarctic expedition. And given the United States government's urgency of silence, they very well have known about the presence of this before Admiral Byrd even went there. Admiral Byrd writes in his diary about meeting an entity called the Master, or the city's leader inside of Inner Earth, who told him of his concerns about the surface world. Our interest rightly begins just after your race exploded the first atomic bombs over Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan. It was that alarming time we sent our flying machines, the Flugelrads, to your surface world to investigate what your race had done. You see, we have never interfered before in your race's wars and barbarity, but now we must. For you have learned to tamper with a certain power that is not for your men, mainly that of atomic energy. Our emissaries have already delivered messages to the powers of your world, and yet they do not heed. According to Admiral Byrd's diary, apparently the United States government already knew about Agartha, or Inner Earth, before Admiral Byrd's expedition. Also noting in the diary, according to the Master, places such as Tibet, the Great Pyramid of Giza, and the North Poles all have tunnels leading to Agartha. What else is it possible that the Master was able to teach Admiral Byrd? And Admiral Byrd was certainly not alone. What about the rest of the Operation High Jump crew? What did they hear, or even see? Whether this Hollow Earth story is a fact or a fiction, it's actually really great to imagine that there are still hidden civilizations out there in the world, left undiscovered, with mysteries waiting to be transcribed. There are plenty of books if you're interested of reading more about Admiral Byrd and his Hollow Earth or the Agartha theory. You can check out like The Kingdom of Agartha, A Journey into the Hollow Earth by Marquis Alexander Saint Yves de Alavander, or The Missing Diary of Admiral Richard E. Byrd itself. There is The Smoky God, A Voyage to the Inner World by Walter George Emerson, or A World Beyond the Poles, Physical Continuity of the Universe by F. Amedeo Giannini. But in conclusion, I really feel that there is enough evidence to at least raise a few eyebrows here, and to make you go, And I really hope that you all gain some insight from the video. Leave me a comment or suggestion down below asking if you would like me to read the actual full excerpt from Admiral Byrd's diary, or just any suggestions for the documentary series in general. I really appreciate everybody. Remember, be sure to like and to sub to help keep the channel growing, as we are actually approaching 1,000 subs. You are all amazing and my family. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next episode.